article for the Proton pulled up, and a little text on algebraic geometry. So take your pick.
Or we could talk about how close that last race was and how hype Game 2 is going to be. And
Is?
Yeah, the fact
yeah,
that
yeah.
in
Yeah,
between
it is.
games, I talked to Gob, and he said that he only practiced the bombs split. So that's kind of incredible that he got a 117 and he only practiced one split in the entire run.
I think he might be lying a little, you know.
Maybe.
We need to get some anonymous sources from Gob's inner circle. Do you think we can get anyone like that? Do you know any of his, like, I don't know, his coworkers?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I believe we should be starting. Yes. I was slightly late, but
Okay,
all right. Now, I believe I mentioned it at the start of the last race, but I'll just repeat it for those who are just joining. These two runners have a lot of history behind them. They first faced off in a speedrun tournament at the 1984 World Expo in New Orleans, Louisiana. And since then, gymnast, I believe he's a basketball player, or I believe he was. I think he played for the I don't know, the Brooklyn mashed potatoes or something. And Gobbity, I'm pretty sure Gobbity is like a shoe salesman or something. Like he, yeah, you know, tennis shoes, sneakers, whatever you need, Gobbity's got it.
Well, anything you need shoe related, he's got.
Yeah. It's, I mean, he doesn't sell like hats or anything. But anyway, though, after a career-ending injury, Gobbity is now a speedrunner. What I say gymnast did?
Basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
You did not go with the angle that gymnast is a gymnast.
Well, I mean, that's it's just a bit of misdirection on gymnast's part, you know?
Yeah.
Just like the 86, because, I mean, we all know he wasn't born in 86.
Yeah, how could he compete at the 1984 World Expo? He was born in 86.
Yeah, and you know what the theme of that expo was?
No.
Fresh water. You know what this game has a lot of?
Salt water?
Yeah, exactly. There's like, I mean, at least I assume it's salt water.
Yeah. I've always wondered, that pond on Dragon Roots Island, like in the front, is that freshwater or salt water?
Yeah, I don't think there's like any lore explaining it in game. And I'm a little too nervous to call up Miyamoto and ask him.
It's gotta be salt water, right? Because, like, you get a high tide, and then the water just rushes over into the pond from the ocean.
Yeah, or like a big storm, you know?
It wouldn't surprise me if, like, that pond is salt water, and then the other much bigger pond inside the island is fresh water because it comes out of the ground.
Yeah, like that. That's probably how those bird people are like. That's their source of fresh water.
Oh yeah, Mac, there is lore confirming that the ocean is salt water. Because of Breath of the Wild.
All right, well, I mean, we still don't know the salinity, but I guess that... Well, I don't know. Link seems to have... No, he doesn't really float in it, I guess, so... I think that makes it less salty than the Dead Sea.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of bodies of water are less salty than the Dead Sea.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, it's not like we've established a bound on like how salty the
Yeah.
Great Sea can be. It's very well. Anyway, though, enough of that nonsense. Now we've got Errol. This is the main protagonist of the game, Errol Flynn. Oh, someone's asking what MSS is.
Stands for
BK, what's MSS?
Yeah, it stands for manual super swim. So normally, if you're doing a regular any percent run of this game, which is just to beat the game as fast as possible, you would skip all of the outside island tutorial by doing a manual super swim from here to Dragon Roost Islands, which is like you turn around, frame perfectly in the water over and over and over again, until you build up enough speed, similar to a BLJ in Mario 64, but monumentally harder to perform. You build up the speed, and then you swim over to Dragon Roost, and you skip outset. So in this category, it is supposed to be a more beginner-friendly category, so that trick is banned.
Oh, Sage of Mirrors, I think is that guy's like I don't remember, but yeah, I think he oh, he had the stream. Never mind. He didn't have a question. And now Gymnast got a bonk there on the door, so the race is pretty much over. We can go home.
Pretty much got to run away with this.
I hope so, because, I mean, I don't want to have to, come up with a third World's Fair to make up a story about. I'm not even on comms for Game 3 if it happens. But anyway, last week,
on WaveCrash Z,
Gymnast86, he was doing pretty well, and then, I don't know, he just couldn't seal the deal with the Morph Hover. He didn't get very good Morph RNG. There were several compounding factors, but the long and short of it is, Gobbity won.
Yeah, it was pretty close up until more. It's like Gobbity was behind, but not by much.
Yeah, he was like one Puppet Ganon light arrow shot behind. And this is a trick called telescope at the intended time, where we get the telescope at the exact point the game intends for us to, because we can't get it early, and we don't really want to, because this thing has like one use.
Also, Gobbity threw away his lead by talking to Arrow a second time, so now it's tied again.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I don't know what he was doing, But anyway, though, there's some pirates from that one stage in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This is their ship. I guess it appeared in this game first,
Also appeared in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, well, almost every... No, Poke Floats didn't come back. That's...
No, that's
well,
also
anyway.
a good stage, yeah.
What? That is the best stage, and like I'm not saying every Melee tournament should be Poke Floats exclusive, but I guess that is what I'm saying. Anyway,
This is the first part of the run where there is a trick that is not easy to fail, but yeah, I'll say it. It's easy to fail.
And it also saves time.
Saves like, I don't know, 5 seconds.
Yeah, maybe. I think we saw it last time, but it's called quick parry.
Yeah, it's towards the end of this tutorial, Orca teaches you about parrying, and if you input the first parry, like near frame perfectly, I forgot if it's like a 2-frame or a 3-frame window, then he will give the trigger for the second parry much faster.
Jim's having a little bit of trouble with Orca here.
What? Gobbitybobbity went super late. Like, really late. And Jim, I don't think he got it. Maybe he... Oh, he did get it. Okay, good.
Yeah, that made up for him getting knocked down by Orca twice. Or made up a little bit. Not completely. And now we get the sword that I thought looked like a feather when I was a really little kid because I needed glasses and, you know, I didn't wear them. I also thought Dragon Roost Island looked like a sandwich from the map, but I think that's a little more
subjective.
Yeah.
Also,
I called it Roast Beef Island.
I'm getting confirmation that Old Haley has said that it is a 2-frame window, so I will go with that.
What did you say it was?
I said 2 or 3, so I don't know the exact number. I just know it's not frame perfect. Well, if I'm new Haley, then
yeah, I mean,
someone has to be Old Haley.
Yeah, somewhat like what is this? Replacement Haley? Original Haley? And replacement Haley? I mean, I guess that works. I don't know. I mean, you do sound a little bit different, I will admit. But...
I do.
Not such great rupee RNG again.
Gymnast got great rupee RNG, which is not at all surprising. Gymnast is well known for his amazing rupee RNG.
Yeah, he's got a RNG modifying laser in his backyard. I've seen it. Very, it was expensive, though, so most runners don't have one. Oh, that's a great emote in chat of a boss we're never gonna see in this run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing about this run. We see like 3 bosses. I mean, like Ocarina of Time, any percent sees 0. So, I mean,
yeah.
It is a little more than, I guess, maybe most of them.
We see 3 bosses, but we only fight 2 of them.
And some categories are the any percent with MSS category. Some runners will only fight 1 of them.
Yep. But skipping the other one is very hard and it is banned in this category.
Yeah, it doesn't actually require manual super swim to skip, but yeah, you know, pull down the little rules and you'll see it.
Yeah, which is why, like, I don't know, maybe this category could have a better name, because
I think HD calls this something else. I don't know. So someone familiar with HD? Well, I guess I am, but I'm not gonna. I don't know the name. Yeah, HD's
like, any percent restricted, but then I feel like, I don't know, that also just means like, oh, well then what exactly is restricted about it?
Oh, HD does call it restricted. This This game and HD are actually very something interesting, even though this is HD is a remake, and this is a little bit off topic, but HD, it's got like one major glitch that's patched, but that one major glitch being patched changes the run completely, and it's also got one major glitch that SD doesn't have, which also changes the run completely. So it's I don't know. I think there's an interesting parallel there.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like literary devices.
Yeah, like I was
Anyway,
surprised
though.
to find out that that Twilight Princess and Twilight Princess HD are the same Discord, whereas like for Wind Waker, the SD and HD speedrunning Discords are different. But I think that like makes sense since the speedruns for Wind Waker are so different. But then I think Twilight Princess, it's like HD can't do early Master Sword, but like it still has boomerang long jumps and other stuff like that. I don't know.
When is TPHD going to get something that can skip that Hyrule Castle barrier that TPSD will then find a different method for like 2 years later?
I'm sure it's coming soon.
Don't write checks you can't cash, I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now, I've mentioned it before, this is a major downside to running no MSS. We have to see this sad cutscene with Grandma. And goodbye forever. Pretty clean movement. Back to Tetra from Gobbity.
Yep.
And from Gymnast. Looks like only Gobbity is going to be getting the sub-16 outset. Although Jim was just about right on the money. Basically right at 16.
Yeah, if it's a game 3, then they'll visit Grandma soon enough.
You know, we need to do like, I don't know, like we need to number these games like with the Roman numerals like they do for the Super Bowl. Because I think this is a lot more interesting, personally.
What you mean,
But
like
it's also
you call it like the Legend of Zelda 5 or something like that?
no, like you know, I, double I, triple I,
Yeah.
IV, V, you know.
Yeah, with the Zelda games, I guess they stopped after Roman numeral 2. Said, you know, we should
Yeah.
just focus on giving them alternate names.
Watch him do like Windows and bring it back for like, you know, like 7. You know, Legend of Zelda 7, Legend of Zelda 8, 10 for some reason. But enough computer ramblings. I'm not one of those computer hackers.
Alright, there is a small chance this cutscene crashes. Alright, so far so good for Gobbity. Will Jim just get the crash? Nope. Well, I mean, the crash could still happen. There's like, I think there's a couple different spots the cutscene can crash.
I want to. Can you get me like a link to this cutscene crash at some point? Because I've never seen it.
Yeah, sure. There's a clip on my Twitch channel of me getting it in a run. Other footage of it is going to be a lot older, so I don't know where to find it.
Nice self promo, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, you've really cornered the market on clips of that crash.
It's my most popular clip.
Well, I mean, you like I said, you've got that you really cornered the market. I mean,
Yeah. Kind of have a monopoly on Wind Waker cutscene crashes with Nico.
Yeah, I mean, even if someone else, uploads a video of it, yours was, I mean, yours is still going to be the go-to for years.
Yeah.
Decades, even.
Like the crash that a lot of Wind Waker runners have seen, or a lot of like old school runners have seen, is I believe it's Nico never jumps off the rope. Like right when he is about to jump off the rope in the tutorial, the game crashes. But my crash was right before he jumped off the switch earlier in the tutorial. So that whole like tutorial cutscene is just a bit of a mess.
I guess we should talk about early light cycle.
Yeah.
So anyway, though, you'll notice them, really going to town on this text here, mashing through it. And that's because it actually is going to help them get through this FF1 a little bit faster. If they can do it right. Last run, neither of them got it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can only see the end of game 1. Like I saw them both doing barrier skip, and I saw after that, but nothing moved forward.
You missed some. Well, you missed some stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So this is this is something that's not in the brawl stage. I think is this barrel. And this barrel is actually going to send us to FF1. And unfortunately, there's no way to manipulate the barrel in order to get us to the top of FF1. So we're just going to have to hope that we get there.
I mean, you can use storage to mess around with this cutscene so that you don't actually, you don't see Link physically get lodged to the fortress. But yeah, you can't do that in this category because you can't get storage because you don't have Wind Waker yet.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. See, now maybe if those pirates had taken, some more physics classes, they would have been able to get that set up a little better, but no such luck.
As far as I'm concerned, they did everything right because I doubt that area of wall that Link collided with actually has collision. Like, it's probably a fake wall. If you go high enough up on the Forsaken Fortress Tower, the collision is not there. Oh, Gobbity got a dry roll there? Yeah, he's not going for it. That's smart. He's not gonna make it. Maybe Jim will get it. Oh, this is a little different.
Speaking of physics, these lights are also work a little differently than in real life. You, in order to get caught, I believe the top half of Link has to be in the light, or maybe it's the very bottom. It's one of the two. You can sort of stand in the light without getting caught. There's some leeway to it, but we didn't see
Very
that.
small, but yeah.
Anyway, though, this Bokoblin is actually the one operating these lights, or one of them. And we don't have a sword, but guess what we do have?
A stick.
Yeah.
Oh, Gobbity almost jumped off there, and that would have been problematic.
Yeah, because
you have to knock the Bokoblin off.
Yeah, the Bokoblin dies if it leaves its job. It's a little disturbing, but anyway.
On rare occasions, the Bokoblin will survive getting knocked down from that tower, and it'll try to run back to its position, but it'll just run in the corner forever.
Uh-oh, someone's joined to yell at us for this terrible commentary.
No, this is great.
Oh,
Alright.
okay.
This is a cool thing for people to see that have never seen it before, is that you can just run past them. The moblins don't even see you.
Just barely. An
I
eventual
get it,
race
barely.
3. Race 3 will happen if Gymnast wins this game. If Gobbity wins, there's going to be no game 3. Not for these two, anyway. And Gobbity is,
he's doing the backup because I think he wouldn't have made it.
Oh, well, I
yeah.
guess that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, that moblin, I believe it's random how far he kind of walks, or when he turns around toward the end, so it's a little, And also, for those of you who've only played HD, the moblins are a little quicker to... I think in HD there's a period where they can see you and not catch you.
Yeah,
but
pretty
here
long.
there's not that sort of little grace period. Or it's much, much shorter if there is.
I think it's just because Nintendo figured that a lot of little kids playing this game got stuck on Forsaken Fortress 1. So then it was just to make it easier so that kids could actually play the game.
I mean, I definitely did when I was a wee lad. I had some trouble getting past the moblins, you know. Actually, what really gave me trouble was those searchlights. Because I kept thinking that, you know, in that last sidling area where you actually need the light off, I thought, you know, if I timed it just right, maybe I'd get past it, but... yeah, that didn't happen. Or, that didn't work. And now, Link is gonna rescue, Errol here.
And nothing will go wrong.
Yeah. It's amazing how quickly the, conflict gets solved. Oh, who's this guy?
This is one of the 3 bosses that you meet in the run.
Yeah, and it's, his name is, the Helmarock King. Oh, yeah, spoilers. Yeah, we shouldn't have said that. Forget I said anything. Anyway, though, Ganondorf, spoilers, apparently lives in a boat now, which I guess got marooned on top of this fortress.
Like half a ship, not even a whole ship.
Well, there were budget cuts, you know.
Yeah. I wonder how it even got up here in the first place. Did like Ganondorf move it up here?
I don't know. Maybe he like just hired someone to build a boat on top of his fortress. You know, it's got that. I'm sure like you could hire like a contractor to, you know, make it look like that. I don't know. I'm not a. I'm not big on like really gimmicky, you know, houses, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, though, this guy with the weird looking head, this talking boat man, this is Coral. The reason the files are named with a bunch of numbers is at the start of each race we roll a random number within 8 characters to use as the file name, so that way a runner could not hypothetically you know, record a really good run and then just play it. Because they only know the file name once the race is basically started. I mean, I guess they could figure it out if they had like a time machine or something, but What are the odds of that?
Yeah, the day time travel was invented is the day that making anti-cheats for this kind of thing is impossible.
Yeah. Just a quick warning: if a time machine ever gets invented, this tournament series is going to be canceled. You know, I don't think it's
No.
happened for Wind Waker in particular. Well, I don't know, maybe like a rando or something, but there have been cases in speedrunning in general tournaments where that has happened. So, yeah. And this time, you weren't here for it, but last time, Gobbity, he came here with, after he got that blue rupee pot, the last one, he only had 78 rupees. He broke one of the RNG pots, only got 1 rupee.
Awesome.
And he had to go down to those docks to get the last rupees he needed.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, it was tragic. And now this is, some of you may know this game got, I think it actually got a little bit of flack for all the sailing segments, because they do take kind of long, you know. Sometimes it's not super interesting. You got to keep changing the wind and all that. There is some combat, you know. Yeah, but it's overall, it's not one of the better parts of the game, the sailing. But yeah, this is the only sailing we're ever gonna do, unless something goes very wrong.
Yeah, which hopefully does not happen.
Yeah, right now we're going to, this is actually, we're basically at the tail end of, you might have, if you've played Wind Waker casually, you might have noticed this is basically what you'd do in a casual playthrough, just with some, you know, some tricks to save time, but that's about to change. Because once we get the Wind Waker, this game's going to be very different.
Because with the Wind Waker, you can pretty much go wherever you want. So then, well, you might as well get the necessary items you need to beat the game, and then just go beat the game.
Yeah, normally right now we'd be starting the journey to get 3 pearls, which I called orbs last time. But they're pearls. I mean, not much difference. But anyway, yeah, we'd be getting, you know, 3 pearls, 3 magical pearls, which would be red, green, and blue, like the original Pokemon games in Japan. But instead, we're going to get some different items, which are also approximately red, green, and blue.
Yeah, the red is a bit of a stretch, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's some red on it. I think it's like, you know, it's kind of, well, actually, the pearl is sort of more orange.
Yeah.
Oh.
And orange is kind of brown-like, which is what the
Yeah,
clover
so,
is.
I mean, there's a little bit of orange on that item, I think. More so than red. It's, you know, I mean, I don't have, like, you know, 2 images, you know, to compare them up on my screen or anything, so.
Yeah, so now they're trying to get storage. Jim has gotten 1 storage, he needs to get another one, and Gavi has 0 storages. Oh, there we go, Jim has 2.
Yeah, the reason we need 2 storages is we're using up a storage here, and we need another storage to do something else in like 10 seconds or something.
A little longer than 10 seconds, but... Oh, wait, I mean, I guess for opening this chest, yeah, but then, like, what you do with that second storage after opening the chest is a little...
Yeah, that's much longer than 10 seconds. You know?
Yeah.
It's just opening the chest.
Storage number 1 is to get fixed camera to do a super swim. Oh my! Oh, Gobby, that was close.
That was really scary for a second.
Yeah,
basically
if you get...
storage. Storage, can you explain what storage is?
Storage is when you change a number in the game's memory that dictates whether or not you have control of Link. So like when you pull Wind Waker, you can't walk around normally. Like you're stuck standing still playing music. But if you activate storage, which is the Wind Waker dives they were doing by that rock, and then pressing B 3 frames before landing, then you modify that number that gives you control of Link, so that you have control of Link while you have the Wind Waker menu open. And if you have control of Link, that means you can walk around with the fixed camera the game gives you, and that lets you charge up super stims very easily.
And another thing that being able to walk around when you're not supposed to does is if you do it while you're opening a chest, Link's collision is parts of certain collision is disabled when you open a chest. So you can do what Jim is about to do, if he can do it.
It looks like Jim had a bit of a lead because he got storage pretty fast, or not pretty fast, but like faster than Gobbity. But now
can
it's
someone
like,
demonstrate? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Jim got up there.
Now he can walk up walls like that.
Oh wow, so they're both getting in the power ship around the same time.
There's other ways to get storage besides just the Wind Waker dive, but that's the fastest, and it's pretty much the only one that's ever used in SD.
Yep, this is pretty close. Like this bomb split, maybe it's not the hardest split in the run. It's definitely my hardest split in the run. Like it's the scariest. Because like if you fail the super swim, or you drown, or the world reloads, which could happen depending on the route you take to get from Crescent to Outset, then the pirate ship at Outset disappears, and you need to use an alternative method to get bombs, which loses quite a bit of time, like 5 to 7 minutes. So this is definitely like a choke point in the run.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where you get bombs. Again, if you're familiar with the game, you might be wondering, what happened to the dungeons we're supposed to go do. Where's Great Fish? Where's the Endless Night? They haven't talked about Jaboon at all. We're not going to do any of that. But we are going to go to Forest Haven for a little grocery shopping.
Yeah, gotta check things off the list. We got our blue item, and now we need our green item. Yeah, so now they're gonna this is gonna put them at Windfall, because like even though they were at Outset, inside the pirate ship, the game will not put you back at Outset, because normally when you're in the pirate ship getting bombs, the pirate ship's supposed to be at Windfall, so the game just assumes that it's supposed to put you at Windfall.
Yeah, this game's got some interesting save flags. Also, since it's daytime, we can just talk to that guy to get the text storage. Normally, or at nighttime, you'd have to go to the mailbox, and like it's, I don't know.
It's harder.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, this is so close that like Gobbity pulled ahead because he got double storage faster, but then he splooshed while charging up his super sims. Now he has to recharge it. That gave Gymnast the lead again. So this is gonna go very back and forth, I can tell.
Yeah, but here's another opportunity for a major pull ahead or fall behind coming up, which we may not see, or we may see, may or may not see. We're going to have to, or we're going to try to get in here and skip a cutscene. But the cutscene skip is, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And runners will sometimes mess it up.
Yeah, this... I mean, you can't really objectively say which split is the hardest, but I think a lot of people would agree that if someone said this split was the hardest, that you can't really argue that much against that.
Yeah, I mean, this is at least in the top 20.
Sure.
What, too broad?
Yeah, a little too generic, yeah.
Okay, now, he didn't do that jump correctly in the first race either. Anyway, though, the Deku Tree has a little bit of, I don't know. Yeah, and as you can see, it's gotten very bad. So Link's gonna need to get him some of that cream or whatever. But that's a little slow, getting the cream. So instead, we're just gonna kill it.
Yeah, so the downside to Jim not really doing like that jump from the waterfall just right is that he, I guess you could call it a bug or a glitch. He got like the water particles to show up every time he climbed the tree root, even though there was no water there. And that had to do with like the way he climbed the ledge from the waterfall earlier. And that does add a little bit of lag to the game, and it messes up a runner's muscle memory on when to do the Wind Waker dive. So that's why Jim kind of struggled a little bit. Uh-oh. Well, Jim stored the Gossip Stone text, and now he has to get storage again.
I've
kind of gave
never actually seen that.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Were there no shoes on the right side? I guess I didn't notice that.
I guess not. That was... I've never seen it fail like that.
So I guess what happened was there were no shoes on the right side, so Jim was gonna try to run up the middle over to the root to do what Gobbity's doing, but then as he was rolling over there, he pressed A while the Gossip Stone trigger was up, so then he lost his storage, and then he tried to get storage again, but then like, he just don't have enough time. And oh, Gobbity messed it up too? Yeah, okay, so believe it or not, Gymnast is ahead even though he failed the trick, because Gobbity also failed the trick, so now he has to do it again, whereas Jim's already like in the cutscene.
Yeah, it's faster to fail and watch the cutscene than to fail and
have to do it.
Again.
Yeah. So Gymnast is ahead right now. Might not look like it, but you'll see once he's done with the cutscene and Gobbity is still setting up this cutscene skip.
Yeah, especially with the trouble he's having with storage here. Well, he got it.
But then again, well, I mean, Gobbity's doing a pretty good job setting this up quickly, but we should see that Jim will be done with the cutscene before Gobbity skips the cutscene.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah.
Like right now. And now Gobbity's got to get crushed by the Deku Chin. Depending on how his chin is, wagging around.
I think he got it.
See if he got it.
Yeah, so
oh, yep.
He's not that far behind, especially since Gymnast didn't have to damage down. Whereas Gobbity already is at a quarter heart, so he could just set up the hover right now.
And as long as he gets the lift off,
yeah,
okay, you got the lift off. I wasn't trying to jinx him or anything.
No, yeah.
Definitely not.
But it was interesting to see the side-by-side of, like, one runner having to watch the cutscene and the other runner failing it to the point where they had to redo it.
Now, if he had,
oh yeah, Jim's good.
if he had failed it and then had to watch the cutscene, you know, that would have been an even bigger loss. But
Yeah.
as it stands, still fairly large.
Yeah, this race is still pretty close. Like, you know, like Gobbity's about to get the leaf that Gymnast just got.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
what is it, like a
about
20-second
20
difference?
seconds. Yeah,
Yeah, about
20,
20 seconds.
21 seconds behind. 19 to 21 seconds in that range. I don't know.
And then this next one's pretty fast. So like they got the blue item, they got the green item, and now they're getting the reddish, orangish, brown item, which is the quiver upgrade. So they're going to be going to
Yeah.
Fawn Fairy, which is a little northeast of here.
Now here's a question for you. You know, I mean, you can get arrows from the Keese and the Puppet Ganon fight, so why would we need this quiver?
Because just like in real life, you need a quiver to hold your arrows. And we're not getting the bow the normal way, because that's Tower of the Gods, that takes forever. So the alternative way to get a bow with arrows is to get a quiver upgrade, and then also get either fire and ice arrows or light arrows. And one of those combined with a quiver upgrade will give you like the full bow with arrows. And since we need light arrows anyway to beat the game, well, to kill Puppet Ganon, we're going to be getting a bow with arrows via the light arrows plus quiver upgrade method. Also, looks like Gobbity had good luck with the beetle storage, so he pulled ahead again.
Yeah.
Double
barely.
storage is one for fixed camera for the Super Swim, and then another one for chest storage. So, like, you can see Jim's trying to open this chest, but walking around with fixed camera is a lot harder than it looks. So yeah, now but both runners have fixed camera for Super Swimming, and then chest storage to clip inside Thorn Fairy Island, because we'll see when Gobbity gets there, assuming he's not going to drown, I don't think, but this is cutting it really close. Okay,
yeah, that was like
yeah.
That was the closest swim I've seen in today.
Yeah, Gobbity likes to cut it close because, like, you can see Jim is getting an air refill at those pillars where Gobbity did not get that, and he just went right past it. It's riskier, but it's faster. So I can see why Gobbity would have pulled that out for this race because it's you kind of need that if you're going up against someone as good as Jim. But yeah, you need the chest storage to clip through that wall because otherwise, like, you can't get by the vines at all, or at least you can't get by the invisible wall that is behind the vines. You can get by the vines actually pretty easily. It's just the invisible wall behind it you cannot.
Yeah, this game has a couple invisible walls.
Yeah, but then, like, see, if you go through that way, it's pretty easy because the invisible wall is one way.
Yeah. As is, I think, most walls in this game. Oh, that was a pretty fast peg storage.
Yeah.
Let's see if Jim can do it that fast. He was having trouble last race.
Yeah, Jim, that mid-air jump slash was a little late, but like I said, it is still pretty easy to get past there, so you just had to give it a couple more tries. Gobbity's being a little picky about his angle, which is a good thing. Yeah, this swim isn't so bad. The swim after this is it can be really frustrating, and it's not really the runner's fault if something goes wrong. Oh, he's doing a safety save. I like that. He probably knows that he's ahead of Gymnast, albeit not by much, but he knows that he's ahead and he has the time to make the safety save. Because if Gobbity fails this swim, he would be in trouble. But with the safety save, it's like not the end of the world. Yeah, and then meanwhile, like, Jim probably knows he's behind, and that's why he's choosing not to safety save. Or he just was never going to safety save in the first place. But you can see Gobbity got double storage. Well, I mean, I guess he didn't finish getting it yet. He has to open the chest first. Now he has double storage. So one storage to get the chest storage, another storage to get fixed camera. Run if you watch restream, right? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they're in there getting intel on each other.
It's not like randomizer, right? Because like with the randomizer, if you go to one island and another runner goes to a different island, you can like see what checks are at that other island. So that's very clearly cheating, and you're getting information you shouldn't have. But since this is just it's a speed run, right? Like the runners already know the route they're supposed to do. So
I think this bike pedal has a screw loose.
Looks like both of them are going to be fine. So the tricky thing about this swim is that sometimes when you get air refills at Six Eye Reef, Link, because he has chest storage and a smaller collision, he'll swim up the side of the reef and you lose all your speed and you have to recharge. And that just kind of happens randomly, and there's really no good way to control that. But it looks like neither of them had that problem, which is really nice to see. It's always kind of sad when that happens. It looks like Jim pulled ahead because he had a slightly better swim to just the right spot for Taken Fortress.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these like really slightly ahead things. Whatchamacallums, you know, and
Slight optimizations.
Yeah. And now they're going to be going into this cutscene basically at the same time.
Yeah, like Aubrey's only a few seconds behind, so this is really anyone's race.
Yeah.
If someone says they know who's gonna win, then they're lying.
Yeah, this cutscene. This cutscene is important because it gives us something called animation set 2, which we actually need in order to not crash in some upcoming cutscenes. But this is also happens to be the quickest way to get the end of the game anyhow, so. And now we've got the pirates are back. I don't know how they got here.
I think the lore reason, because they explain it in the cutscene, is that Link was like running around causing a ruckus inside Forsaken Fortress, so like everyone was focused on him, so the pirates were able to just sail right up without any problems.
I mean, I guess that's what happens in the normal thing. In this run, we beat FF2, the main part of it, in about 30 seconds. So,
yeah. Like no one notices Link whatsoever.
Yeah, it wasn't that much of a ruckus. The pirates really had like, I don't know, like maybe a minute to get here. But you know, who am I to question? I don't know. This game. I mentioned it last time, but just as a reminder, this is a downside of no MSS, is that Gonzo, that pirate, is here. He'd be invisible if we got the Wind Waker early. Just skip straight to Dragon Roost.
Yeah.
And now the bird is back. The door is locked. And the drains are backing up.
Once again, Ganondorf's got a call plumber about that.
Yeah, like this is like a. I mean, that's coming up pretty fast too. Like I don't know what kind of like problem he's got there, because that's never seen anything that bad. I don't know. Anyway, either way, they're doing some pretty fast rolling to get up here so that they don't have to deal with, like, I don't know, the bird breaking the floor under them.
Also, like, in a casual playthrough, the bird would knock out like part of the bridge, and then you'd have to use the grappling hook to get across. But we don't have the grappling hook, so you would not be able to get across, and you'd have to reset the room. Ooh, Gymnast got a really fast Hellrock skip.
You don't actually need to use the grappling hook if you... Because you'll almost always just jump right over those little broken things, but it's not 100% consistent.
Mm.
But
No,
yeah, you would not be able...
Well, so the thing about this skip, did the version of the skip that both runners are doing is considered a glitch. Also, Gobbity's gonna run on a magic. You kind of need magic in
yeah.
Hyrule, but I guess there's grass down there. But anyway, there is a glitchless, air quotes around glitchless, because that's debatable. A glitchless version of Helmrock skip, where you do not clip out of bounds, right? Because like the big thing with this and why it's considered a glitch is because they're clipping out of bounds to get past the fight. But if you could somehow launch yourself over the spike wall, then you're not really going out of bounds. It's just poor game design to like let you skip the fight. So I guess not easily, but yeah.
Gossip Stone coming out. I guess he's giving Link advice on how to skip the boss.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take too long.
Yeah, this is not one of the better Helmbrock skips I've seen here. I must confess.
Yeah, it's like this isn't normally a spot in the run where like someone struggles with it and loses. Oh, nice, he got it. Where like someone struggles and loses a bunch of time, but I think it's just because of like the strat that he was using is kind of tough. Or like you just leaf straight over to the part of the ledge you have to climb up. Jim just got it pretty quickly, but it is kind of it's not the easiest strat in the world. Let's put it that way. So they have about a 2-minute difference. However, there is a lot of RNG at the end of the run, so
yeah.
I
also
did not count Gobbity out.
Some of the time loss from Gobbity will not become apparent until we get down to Hyrule, because he's going to need to get magic, more so than Gymnast.
Yeah, Gymnast is going to run straight to the barrier, and then Gobbity hopefully remembers that he needs to get magic. I'm wondering where he's going to get magic, because there's the grass in the courtyard in Hyrule, and there are also pots inside the castle.
I think that grass drops magic, but I don't know about the pots. And I don't know how... I don't remember if it's a guaranteed...
It's guaranteed inside the castle. It is completely random in the courtyard. Like, it's very not very possible, but like there is a chance that like Gobbity cuts all the grass in the courtyard and there's no magic, but that's pretty rare.
Oh,
whereas like if he could take a slightly different route through the castle and then like grab a guaranteed magic pot that way. Which strat does Gobbity use for barrier skip? He uses the Trog method, which is not one of the faster methods, but does Gymnast use his own method, or does he use a different one now? I missed that part of... I didn't watch all of Game 1, so I missed that. But if Gymnast does the method that he invented, then Gobbity's method is faster. I think there's multiple methods where you spin 4 times. But if Gymnast also like dry rolls in the middle of the barrier 15 to 20 times, then that's his method. But yeah, spinning 4 times, he probably does his own method. Gymnast entering the castle. Oh yeah, I wonder, does a gymnast like run through the center of the castle, or does he run around the
He ran
puzzle
around the
trigger?
side last time.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, my dog, I think saw a ghost.
Okay.
It was, I don't know if you could hear the barking on the mic, but,
No, I didn't hear it.
well, anyway.
Yeah, so
Dogs.
gymnast is kind of like running around that block puzzle because there is a gossip stone trigger there where King of Our Lion says, "Oh, Link, looks like there's some kind of puzzle here that you should solve." But, if you run straight through, then you can't roll, because then rolling will force that conversation. Oh yeah, Judges that's his own method.
Yeah, we should give these methods, like, names like, I don't know, Method Delta or something, because people like Greek letters.
Yeah,
You
but,
know,
I mean, calling this the
Gamma.
gymnast method, people like gymnast, so...
Yeah,
that's
well,
what
I mean, what if people don't like gymnasts? Then they might be,
What?
turned off from using this method. I mean, I'm
Well,
not saying there's that many gymnast haters out there. I'm just saying we can't rule it out.
well, there's like 4 other methods they could do, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
exactly.
they'll be fun.
Alpha, beta,
That's not what I
gamma.
would do, yep. Oh, that was a fast barrier
Yeah,
skip.
that was a pretty clean skip.
Alright, Gabi's getting courtyard grass.
How long will it take?
He got some magic. He went straight for the giant patch to
Oh.
increase his odds. Yeah, that's good enough. So,
Yeah, that was
not
that
big a
wasn't
time
too
loss.
long.
But because Jim just got a good barrier skip, it does make it a little harder for Gobbledy to catch up. But again, the RNG at the end of the run can change everything. Oh, I mean, you can't see it on restream, but Jim just got a gold barrier skip, which means that is the best barrier skip he has ever done. Or actually, maybe his regular 80% splits has a better barrier skip, but at least that's the best barrier skip he's done for 80% no MSS.
Yeah, that's the best barrier skip in hundreds of years.
Yep.
The best barrier skip since the 84 World Expo, definitely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This barrier skip setup. Oh, that was a clean trial skip, too. These barrier skip setups remind me of an episode of Dexter's Lab where, like, I don't know, his dad is, like, trying to fix the TV, and he's, like, messing around with a rake on the roof. And he's explaining to Dexter how to fix the TV, and he's like, okay, you gotta go, like, really loopy with the rake now. That's what it makes me think of. It's
Both
just
are
like,
convoluted.
Yeah, like this looks like nonsense, if you don't know what it's doing.
Yeah. Like, why do you spin the camera around with the bomb above your head? Yeah, it's to get the right frame, because you need to drop the bomb behind Link on a very specific frame in the animation of Link holding a bomb above his head, and you can't just count frames. Like, you're not gonna count, I forgot the number, it's like 37 frames or something. Like, you're not gonna count that. So the trick that Gymnast came up with when this method of barrier skip was discovered is that if you spin the camera around and then pause buffer it, that's like kind of your way of counting frames. Because like for every frame, there's a unique visual for that frame. Because the camera's constantly moving.
Oh, Jim got the good phantom gain in RNG.
Yep. Gobbledy, he barrier skip a little bit, but he's making his way through.
Yeah, you got it. I've seen racers on here lose a lot of time to barrier skip, so
yeah,
it's not super uncommon.
It's okay, Mac. You can say it. You're talking about me.
What? Oh yeah. Yeah, there was this guy called PK Slam who, I mean, he was just. I mean, not PK Slam, New Haley.
I do Haley.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to be confused with old Haley.
Haley 2.0. Wow, he missed that light arrow shot.
Yeah, that happens. I don't know why. Phantom Ganon's just tricky like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I always wait a little bit before shooting Phantom Ganon. Yeah, that's what happens if you just shoot too soon. Ooh, Haley remastered. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Rehydrated. Anyway, Gob's gonna go for that same roll clip thing, but with a slightly different setup. So he doesn't need to use the bomb clip. Thanks for telling me that, Haley.
So the race was pretty close. Like, they were within a few seconds of each other, but then Gobbity had trouble with Helm Rock skip, so now he's behind. Oh, and I guess Barry skipped too. He lost inside the gym on that. But it really is still anyone's race.
Yeah, anyone's race. Even I could win this.
Exactly.
I mean, it's unlikely. Now, Gobbity's about to go through the Phantom Ganon maze. Which, luckily, there's no, like... I don't know, like...
He's
it's
behind...
a good thing... It's a good thing that this maze doesn't, like... I don't know, isn't random on every playthrough, because, that would be very slow.
Right.
How far behind is he?
Over 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's tough to get to catch up, but you know, the RNG at the end of the run is huge. Like, Jim could lose maybe like
he could go for the backup though.
Yeah, he goes for the backup, but then if you fail the backup, which he did fail in the last round, you do lose time to having to damage down and run all the way back to...
That's the worst RNG for Gobbity there. Oh yeah, the way you would get through that race casually, or the maze casually, is you'd go to GameFAQs and look at one of the maps. Or, if you're a super pro gamer, you would just kill Phantom Ganon in every room and eventually notice, after a while, that his sword actually falls pointing toward the door you need to go to.
I think, yeah, the handle points to the door you're supposed to go to. Oh yeah, see you're there? Like, the sword handle is pointing towards the only other door in the room. So I guess that mechanic still exists in this room.
I don't know, I wasn't paying attention close enough to see if that happened for Jim, but it might.
Oh, it's a lot.
Oh, that... Yeah. He got it, but let's see how PG goes for our friend Gymnast86.
Yeah, Jim having a little tough time with this phase, but also Puppet Ganon's movement around the room is kind of random. And if Puppet Ganon moves towards Link, it makes the shot a lot harder.
That actually wasn't that bad. It was just
yeah,
not great. It was okay, you know. Middle of the road. Now he's got to fight Spider Ganon. Spider Ganon. What rhymes with Ganon?
Ganon.
Spider Ganon gets the crip shot. So now that's canon.
Yeah. So Jim got crip shot, which is when you shoot the spider for a second time as it flies back up. So that saves a cycle, which then he's not going to save anymore because he Oh, I think he wanted
Oh my!
more magic, but then
wanted
if you're this low on health, you're not gonna get magic. But he could have attempted to shoot the tail, even though he was on the wrong side of the legs. However, he is kind of low on magic, so I kind of get that. Like he can't. I don't think he can miss a shot. He can miss one shot, so I kind of get why he didn't go for the shoot onto the
going
legs.
for the sword stun. Oh, he didn't have enough HP to do 3 bomb stuns, I guess.
Well, there's perfect health for Jim.
Yeah, assuming he doesn't, screw up
Yeah.
and die. That would be very awkward, indeed. Okay, and Puppet Ganon is dead. Pour one out.
Oh, it's just a puppet, So this is the RNG part that Jim is about to encounter. He has to shoot a morph through the floor with a fire arrow so that the morph catches on fire and launches towards the warp pot to burn the pot lid. But the launch distance is random. So there's like a short, medium, and long bounce, and you need the long bounce in order for the morph to reach the pot. So there are 2 morphs per room reload that Jim could attempt, but he's not going to reload the room because he could spend theoretically all day just shooting those 2 morphs, reloading the room over and over again, and not getting the long bounce. So Jim is going to make it more consistent and go for a fairy hover if it fails. But if he gets he doesn't have any magic. Okay, yeah, he knows that.
Yeah, he needs...
Ooh, this magic a little tricky to get. You got it.
That was a little sus, as we in the business say.
But yeah, if Jim he didn't get it there. If this morph works for him, then I'd say this race is pretty over.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Jim could die to Ganondorf.
Or he could, lose a ton of time to morph hover, but it's looking...
Oh, you know what? Jim, he was struggling a bit getting the morph to roll off of Link in just the right way. Like, it kept rolling in the... actually, that's not that bad. Ooh, he saved that. That almost didn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jim's just gotta... Oh, is he gonna only do this fight with 1 heart? I think... I don't know... I don't remember if, Jim normally does a safety heart here, but I think because, this morph gave him a little bit of trouble and he had to rush to get it up higher, he did not get a safety heart, so he could die to Ganondorf. You've never seen Jim go into this at 2 hearts. Okay. So I guess all that was intentional, and he could die to Ganondorf, because Ganondorf does a heart of damage.
Imagine if Ganondorf did 2 hearts of damage.
I don't think they would matter that much.
Society if Ganondorf did 2 hearts of damage.
He does 2 hearts on hero mode, which is not a thing in this version of the game.
Oh, and as Gymnast enters the cutscene, Gobbity enters a different cutscene. That he beat Puppet Ganon is what I'm saying.
The morph heart can fall off the ledge, but if you set it up correctly, it won't.
Yeah.
You don't want it too far. You don't want it hanging off the ledge too much, because then there's a chance it does fall off. But if you're careful, then it won't.
Yeah, and if you want to know who discovered that morph hover, it's actually one of the racers. The one whose name ends in 86.
Yeah, Jim just came up with the method that he did for barrier skip. I mean, he didn't find bomb push barrier skip itself, but once that was discovered and we needed a setup for it, Jim found the first setup. And he found Morph Hover, which was huge for this game and HD, because
Yeah.
the alternative for getting up there was with a fairy, and that was
Gobbity
horrible.
screwed up grapple skip, but he didn't fall all the way down, so it's not as bad. Oh, those three Morth emotes, I think, are Jim's nicknames for the Morths back in the day when he ran HD consistently. Yeah, back in the day with HD, before the Morth Hover was figured out, they had to do what was known as the Fairy Hover, which is completely RNG. I think it was like a 5% chance, and
Probably less than that.
Yeah, and it took like it was bad, basically. Like basically your run had a fairly small chance of actually succeeding. And then I think at one point there was some sort of setup that someone was trying with the boomerang, but I don't think anyone ever got off a single run with that method before the world record sort of became a little too good for that.
Yeah.
And then we got Morth Hover. I remember, like, in the very early days of a Fairy Hover, people had already noticed that,
Yeah, the bob that he dropped to open up the pot lid of the fairy pot, he was too close to it as he was falling, so it knocked him off course. He might have already slightly been off course anyway, because during the hover he rubbed up against the grappling post, and that threw him off course.
Yeah, I think even if a gymnast dies, he can still win this.
Yeah, because when Gobbity gets up there, he still has to watch the cutscene.
Yeah.
Cutscene's like 3 minutes.
Yeah, anyway, though, it was known very quickly, actually, that you could get a Morth up there to that platform, but the thing is, normally when you shoot it with the arrow, it will never drop a heart. But if you do that thing Jim did where he hit it and got it stuck to him at the same time, then it will drop a heart no matter how you kill it.
Because the game thinks you killed it with a sword, no matter how you actually kill it in the future.
Yeah.
It's really a zombie morph in that moment.
Yeah, zombie morph for a zombie hover. It's poetic.
Yeah. And Jim. Oh, that was close. I was about to say he's playing it safe, because he probably knows how much of a lead he has. But then he did kind of roll towards Ganondorf as he was about to swing, so that was kind of scary. Yeah, the second phase you're not really gonna get hit in, so that's fine. Zelda can still shoot him.
Yeah, and Link will make like the funny electric noise before he dies. Oh, but it didn't happen. Okay.
Game 3.
That is game 2.
Well, yeah, that is game 2. We are going to game 3 because Gobbity won game 1.
And game 3 will also see Mac remastered, otherwise known as EJ, I believe.
Yeah. Should be EJ and myself. Yeah, Jim getting a 117.26. That's pretty good for a race.
Is Gob gonna finish the run?
I guess He is, if he is getting the safety heart. Yeah, look like he's gonna finish. Or not, never mind.
Oh, no, he's not. Because we'd have to watch that, like, 4-minute cutscene. So I can see why he...
Yeah, like a really good Ganondorf split is a little under 5 minutes, so would have been another 5 minutes. What's the best time someone has gone so far? The tourney? 114? I don't think anyone got a 113 yet. I could be wrong, but I think it's a 114 something. Which is pretty close to world record, because world record is a 113.35.
Yeah, by a mini 352. Which is visible on Gym Splits, but not in the restream.
Also visible on Speedrun.com.
Oh, wow. Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna take